Coach Cole did a great job getting everybody ready. A lot of guys you heard saying the best shape they've been in a while, and I think that's great. For us to head in best shape and be ready for a great season.
Yeah, Coach,
this whole process been stressful for you, or enjoyable, a little of both?
I mean, last year was somewhat stressful. A lot of learning. Coming from a program like it did in high school, we didn't do too much losing, so first loss and stuff like that. But I'm just so excited for this season. I can't wait to get going with these guys.
Coach has talked about not making a decision on quarterback until maybe 10 days before the opener. How do you deal with the constant scrutiny, people assessing your play and Chase's play every day in practice?
You can't listen to that. You just got to go out there and do what you got to do. And like I said, me and Chase, we have a great relationship. So we don't ever talk about it with each other. We just help each other as much as we can. And Coach is going to make a decision. We'll roll with it from there.
You're going to be the only two people who will talk about it. Imagine where you go anywhere, people are saying you're going to be the starter.
Yeah, everywhere I go, that's the only question they ask me. So that gets kind of annoying, but I just tell them wait and see, and you'll see in the first game.
Gary, what was it like in workouts to be back with Leonte Carew and Darius Hamilton?
I loved it. It was good walking around here, seeing Coach Anthony Campanile, who's on staff now, came from high school, and just seeing guys that were with me since day one before I even had a scholarship. It's just great to be around with those guys.
How was your attitude and your overall demeanor different now from, say, 1 year ago at this time?
Last year I was kind of nervous coming in at camp. Now it's just pure excitement. I know what to expect. I'm just really excited to get out there and get to work.
Gary, how is it tough to kind of get right back into things tomorrow and be ready to compete from jump? How do you prepare in the offseason to be able to do that?
Oh, you got to prepare every day. We had a week off, but technically it was a week off from being here. But back home everybody's working out, getting ready for camp, and you got to hit the ground running. And I feel like I'm ready to do that.
Does it seem like this competition has been endless between last year's splitting time in spring and now the start of camp?
Yeah, it feels like a long time, but I'm ready to. Hopefully, Coach makes a decision soon, and just roll from there, like I said.
How do you feel like you did in the spring? Did you build some momentum late in the spring that you carried into the summer?
Definitely. I think the last 5 practices or so was probably the best I felt out there from last year, and I just felt like I felt real comfortable with the system, and it felt like I was finally grasping things.
From your perspective, what do you think Coach Flood is looking for in the quarterback? Just decision making, no turnovers. If you're trying to win the job and trying to please him, what do you think he's trying to focus on?
I think it's all those things, and I think the biggest thing is just being a great leader out there. We've had talks about it, and I'm sure he's talked to Chase about it. Just being that guy. Everybody, the quarterback needs to be that guy whether he likes it or not. And I think this team needs a great leader, and why not come from the quarterback?
Is that a role that you're comfortable with?
Definitely. I think that's a role that I've been, my whole life. I think last year was just a great learning experience, like I said, and now I'm comfortable in everything. I feel like I can step up and be that leader.
You think physically now you look like you're a college football player now? How much of an advantage is that?
I can't wait to go out there. Just physically I know what to expect, like I said, and I'm just ready to go, ready to roll.